All right, guys. So I promise you this is the very last one for Okta, and then we have Firebase to worry about. So yeah. So bear with me here, right? All right. So we talked about this, and we in the last video that we realized that there is no real way here to create an account. Okay. So if I left this way, in order for me to create a user, I will have to go into into my Okta account and and go into my users in here, or whatever that may be, into my users here, and actually create a user manually, and then that user will be able to then log into my application. Now that's okay for some applications out there that requires users to be added by the admin team and not by the users themselves. So that's why that's why Okta keeps it this way. But you can also give the opportunity for the user, if it's going to be a public facing site, you can give the users the ability to create it for themselves. So this is how you do this, okay? And I was first, this was kind of crazy because I was like, oh my god, how do you even do this? Because there is no documentation for it. There is a very small piece documentation, and it's hidden away on how to use it as a registration page, pretty much like you doing a custom login, but it's a class component, and I'm using hooks. I'm not using classless, so I don't want to confuse you with that conversion. Bringing that code in and then convert it to classes, to hooks. So in order to do that, we're gonna do it. I kept researching more into it until I realized that it can be done with only one line of code. One line of code, but there's going to be some setup involved in here. So this is how you do it. So first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the directory after you log in into your dashboard, and you're gonna go to self-service registration. You're gonna go here, and then I already enabled it, which is fine, but you're gonna see it. Yours is probably gonna say disable or whatever. So just go ahead and click enable or whatever, and then you'll say enable self-registration. Self-service registration will say enable here, and then add to sign-in widget, and it's going to show your Okta domain right there that is being added to that. Don't worry about this part here, and then this right here is going to be basically what fields are going to show on that form. The defaults are going to be email and password, and then first name and last name, which is normal. I would just keep it this way. If you wanted to add more, then you're going to have to add more complex configuration to the form itself and some other parts of Okta. So it's better just to leave it this way, okay? And then the post registration, basically what it does is, what is it going to happen after there is an activation, after someone creates an account. There's going to be an activation requirement that is going to go to the email, and then the user has to go into that email and click that they are whoever they're meant to be, and and then basically it'll return back to them. And then when that person is verified through email that they did create the account, what's going to happen when it comes back? Do you want the person to come back to your dashboard and have access to this, or do you want the person to go to a custom URL? I wouldn't put the user dashboard unless you trust that your user is going to be an admin for you. So I will use this if it's for an admin that is going to help you out, or I will use this if it's for a user, a subscriber, that you don't want them to have access to any of the stuff in here. And then what you put in here, for me, well, right now, because I'm doing localhost, it's going to be localhost 3000, but that's going to be basically the URL for the homepage, like mydomain.com, hbo.com, whatever, all right? And then go ahead and hit save. And that pretty much takes care of a lot of it, but not everything. So now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to your custom applications here, open the application you're working with, and go to the assignments, and then here on the side it says self-service. Make sure that you edit it. Right now the requests are being disabled. I'm going to request it, and I'm going to allow users to request app, yes. And then it says approval, not required and required. So what this does basically is whether you want to approve everyone that is trying to become a member of your site and log in to the site. I don't want to have to require that all the time, so I just keep it not required. But if you want that extra layer of security, and you want to make sure that you don't let spammers into, you know, people that are creating accounts just to spam your website. That's pretty cool, right? Then just put required and then hit save. So now it will say enabled, everything is enabled, everything's great. So if I go to my application, this right here should say sign up if you don't have an account, but not without doing a little bit of a adjustment. So we're going to go here into our widget, in our custom login, into our widget, and then inside here somewhere, it could be here for example, we're gonna put features. I believe it's features, not feature, but we'll figure that out. And then we're gonna say registration true and hit save. And as you hit save, there it is, sign up. So now the user has the ability to create an account. They will just basically come over here and they'll be able to put in an email that they want, a password, and it will, first name, last name, whatever, and register, and everything will work. Okay, and that's it. That we are finally done with Okta. That is the last step. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out, and we're going to add Firebase instead of Okta on the next videos. Thank you.